I'm working on a new ball, and I've got, it's an basic 8 triangle pattern. I've got the 4 triangles looking the same, and then I thought I would put a solid green color in each of the other triangles, but I tried something first. I tried doing a pattern of greens. I wanted to see what it would look like, but I've decided I don't like it. I think it would look better if I had contrasting colors. I've got 4 greens here going in strips around like that, but I'm doing this video to show that it's okay to change your mind if you don't like something. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip this out. And the first thing I'm going to do is take my scissors and make some cuts. Now I could really just spend the whole bit cutting this out, but I think what I'm going to do is do a little bit of disassembly, as in ripping out some rows. You can do this. You can just cut the layer off. It takes a little bit of time, but you do risk damaging the ball underneath. Which isn't a bad thing. It's just that it'll be a little fuzzy down there. So that's why I'm going to go through and I'm going to rip, unstitch in a lot of cases. So I will show you that when I get back. We'll do a little blink here. Okay, well, I've made a little progress here. It's opening up, and I'm really getting a feel for how to pull these old stitches apart. And I guess what I'm recommending is when you pull out stitch, pull the lead back and get a hold of that stitch, the round part of the stitch underneath it. The loop. Sorry about the bump on the camera. It's kind of hard to see what I'm doing. Try and get some more light down there. Yeah, I guess I could snip it off every once in a while too. I guess I can just say it will take some patience. But again, if you did something and it doesn't look right to you and you don't like how it turned out, don't feel like you have to stay committed to it. I have actually finished an entire ball and then decided I just didn't like it at all. And I've actually, instead of taking out the stitches, I have just made it a bigger ball, packed a bunch of stuffings around a completed ball that I hated, and wound, and used that as the core and wound new windings around it, and then started over. I think it's quite all right to do that if you just don't like something. End up with a little bit bigger ball, but that's all right. You don't have to keep something you really don't like. I guess that's why I'm doing this, just to show you that even after 50 years of making these, I make mistakes too. I think I'm getting close to the end here, and I think I'll just show you a few stitches because I have good contrast here between the white and the green, and I think it's easier to see the stitches here. But it just requires a little bit of patience to tease that out, and I'm holding this lead back away, and underneath is the loop that I want to pluck forward. I think this is a good way to do it. If you want to just to enlarge that loop a little bit, and then get this lead flat so that none of the fibers in this string interfere with pulling out the loop. And I think this is getting a little long, so I'm going to snip it off and add it to the pile there. You see that pile? Tease that loop up. Yeah, I think the contrast between the white and the dark green helps you see what I'm doing a little bit easier. Here's another thing you could try. I was using the sharp end of my needle, but you could try using the back of your needle, the blunt end, or a blunt needle, and see if that works any better for you. I use the tool that works best. I think for me, it's the sharp end, but whatever works for you. This really didn't take too long. Overall, I think it probably took me about 20 minutes to rip this triangle out. It took a lot longer to stitch it. 20, 25 maybe? Half an hour tops. I think that's getting a little fuzzy. There. There. All done. Well, it is a little fuzzier looking than, say, that one. But that's because I snipped out the first beginning in the center, and the fuzz kind of has spread a little bit. And pulling out the fibers, drew on the fibers because of the way I anchor my stitches to the ball. But that looks good, and now I'm ready to proceed, and I think I'm going to do a solid color in all of the other triangles after finishing this pattern. And I think it'll look pretty good. So that's it. You can undo work you didn't like. Don't feel bad about it.